welcome to CNN Podcast. I hope you had a great Sunday. I am your host, Vitali Muvunyi, and I am excited to host you this evening. This evening you have a very, very special episode. We're hosting a number of people in our studio who are all part of one project, a project that has started and is still ongoing. I wouldn't want to open it up. I would love to let the chief himself open up and tell us what's going on. Would you please greet people and let them know why this special episode tonight?
Well, thank you, Victor, and everyone on the platform. The purpose of this episode is to highlight some of the key things that we are planning to do to launch a book entitled Staying on the Course. This is a life story, a story that I believe will inspire some young people, but also others to keep their course in their mission, in their work.
Wow, it's great news. It's great news. Yes, tonight's episode is special because we'll be talking about an upcoming book by Dr. Norman Paul Desire. A book is called Staying the Course, which is a story of an African evangelist who's been called, who's been challenged, and who's been empowered. We'll be going through some of the things related to the book, but not, of course, not revealing to you everything that's in the book. And we are privileged to be with Norman's book team, two gentlemen and a young lady here who have been on a book research trip to Uganda, where Dr. Norman grew up from, and we're going to have a chance to know some of the behind scenes of what they did there, what it was like, and a few other things. So I'll start with Dr. Norman's daughter herself, who's also part of the team. Would you please greet these people and tell them who you are, not just you being the daughter of Norman. What else do you do? What's your names and all that?
My names are Teta Darlene Precious, and yes, I'm his daughter. I'm a student. I study law at University of Kigali, and I'm very privileged to be part of the team that is working on his book.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm also with Bruno Iradukunda. I would like him also to introduce himself and what he's doing with the team of Norman's book.
Thank you so much. As you already said, my name is Bruno Iradukunda. As I love to say, I'm a son of God. Today, I'm wearing a hat of being honored to be the publishing house of Staying on the Course, and I'm very happy to be part of the team. So our publishing house is in charge of publishing Dr. Norman's book, and we are so excited. We are already enjoying the book, and we tell the viewers that good things are coming.
Thank you so much for being on the show. We'll get to know much more about the publishing process. We are also with a guy who actually prefers to be behind the camera, but whom we've forced to be on the camera today, Mr. Daniel. Welcome, and please introduce yourself and tell us what you're doing with this team.
All right, thank you very much. My name is Daniel Shema, as you said, Kabori. It's a privilege to be here, and I really had a good time, as we are going to talk much about it. And I'm so happy to be here as well. Yeah, thank you.
All right, man. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. So I'll go back to Norman before I ask these people how is the journey going, because I understand you're still working on the project. But before I ask them, I wanted to first give our viewers a glimpse of what's going on and of what this book is about. So if I may start, you say the book is called Staying the Course, a story of an African evangelist called, challenged, and empowered. Tell us about that title and what inspired you to write a book. So many things you could have written about, so many years you could have chosen to write and publish a book at any time. Why this time? What inspired you to write the book? And why write on the topic that you're writing on?
Thank you, Vitar. I love reading books. I like some of the things that would be in the book would be how a believer, a leader, has to have personal development. So I'm a kind of person who loves reading books, and I realized everyone was asking, Norman, why can't you write? Why can't you write? And the reason why I'm moving into this, it's life is a great teacher. And as in the course of life, you need to inspire the young ones. And of course, as elders, we're inspired by those that have gone before us. And as you walk into life, then you need to inspire others. So staying in the course is an idea that speaks about my life as a father, as a husband, as a minister, and somebody that has been part of national building. So it's like staying in a course it's like a river. A river has a course. It has the origin and destination. So this book and inspiration is what has made you to keep the course and what you're doing. And of course, as the river flows, it meets a lot of bumps and all that kind of thing. So it's a book that will show us the meandering of the river, distractions that try to distract the course of the river, and yet the river keeps its own course. And then, of course, the destination only God knows. But still, you have to tell, this is the way. I'm still on the way moving.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when are we to expect this book? When is this book going to be out?
I think it will depend on we planned 14th December here in Kigali, and of course you are the great team that is working on the arrangements, but that is our desire that on 14th December, that's when we launch that book.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've been told you went on a trip somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, to be specific, you went to Uganda.
Yeah.
Why go there of all many places you've been at,
Mm-hmm.
and all many places you've lived?
Yeah.
Why specifically Uganda and that particular place that you went to
Yeah.
with your team? What's there? What's there that has to do with the book?
Yeah. I believe every person has places of significance, whether historical, whether a student, every person has its own memorial place, significance. They call it the cradle land, where you have your roots. And to me, it's a place, of course, it's a land that I was born from in Uganda, but also apart from where I was born from, it's a place that I encountered the gospel of Jesus Christ that changed my life. But not only that, but I believe that was the beginning of a new course in my life, because that was the place, the beginning of my life, of course, spiritually. It was a place that I got baptized from. It's a place that my pulpit ministry started. So to me, it's of great significance. Every ministry started from across the border.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, before I go to the rest of the team and leave you for a moment, I'm still curious on behalf of the viewers.
Yeah.
There's so much about you that one would want to know. Now that you've just mentioned of having grown up across the border, there is you being born in a refugee camp, there is you growing up in exile, there is you coming back here in 1989 and having so much fear, there is you doing theology in those days. There is you doing ministry for a long time. There is you doing interpretation. There's so much for people to know about you. There is Christ for the Nations Ministries. What are the major parts are you going to cover in this book?
The major parts, of course.
Are you even going to cover all that I just mentioned, or I'm just daydreaming?
Yeah, I think many things that we'll discuss, of course, to read the book, is, as you said, born in a place, undesired place, a place, as you said, in Gahunje. This is in Toro, where my mother was working from, in a refugee camp, a place that our Rwandese or Rwandan, whatever they mention, experience hardship. So it's a place, it's a history that reminds us that it's not where you are born from that determines who you are. a place that seems to be, you have uncertainty of your tomorrow. So it's a reminder that your present circumstances have no power to determine your future. Of course, I was born premature. I don't know why, maybe the circumstances or what, but still, I realized that some people, you are not born by accident. So you are born by divine purpose. And so those are the things I think the book can speak to those that come from dysfunctional families and places that they do not desire. And of course, the book also will cover different areas, challenges of life. Not only that, the places that you find yourself in that you are not a determining factor, and yet God, I usually tell people that God works mysteriously. You realize that the places that I moved from Toro to Chunjerezi, another refugee camp, then moved to Kampala, then moved to where? You begin to see how God is the God of history. And up to now, I realized that God had a purpose. And many times we ask ourselves why. God is always in the business of preparing you for a greater task. So that is the area that is very important. But also the spiritual aspect. Does God care anyway? Does God still call you anyway? Does God still want your life? And that's where I come to a place of spiritual encounter. God does not call the qualified, but he calls those that are available. And here I am as a young person staying in my grandmother's place. My grandmother is of significance because he grew up in a place that were completely strangers. And yet she came from a well-off background, a daughter of Nyindo from the lineage of Gwabujiri. You find yourself in a community that is not speaking your same language, and God uses those things to shape your life. So I begin to see my grandmother playing
If I may cut it short, who's Gwabujiri for people who are watching us speak English and they may not know who is that guy?
Well, Gwabujiri was the king of Rwanda. Okay. And of course, he's well known for expansionism of the kingdom, moving into Uganda and some areas.
So your grandmother comes from him?
Come from that. She was a daughter of Nyindo, of course, Nyindo, son of Gwabujiri, and she finds herself across the border just after the partition of the Berlin Conference and all that kind of thing. So I find myself in my grandmother's place. And she shapes my life, and I learn how you can still lead those people that you have no relationship. So those are some of the things that we find in the book. And of course, I'll not say everything, but also times of ministry, the challenges, the opportunities, and how we came into Rwanda. So a lot is in the book, yeah.
If you say a lot, Bruno is going to shoot you since he's keeping everything for the. So let me talk to your team, because I believe they have their own perspective, and we are going to cover much of the perspective in the book. So I'd like to know what these guys see, what they are seeing as the project goes on, what they saw when they were on the recent trip. And I will start with Teta. First of all, this man, Dr. Norman, there's so many of us call Dr. Norman, so many of us call Daddy, but I think we are calling him a name that you should be calling him, and so many people dreaming of working with their fathers. So I would like to start from there. What is it like for you to work with your father, and what is it like for you to see him write a book?
Thank you, Victor. So first of all, working with him it's Are we being brutally honest?
I would love that. I would love that.
First of all, working with him is, it's actually great because I get to see his other side apart from being my father. I get to see him as my boss. So another thing working with him is I tend to forget that he's my boss, and I mix it with him being my father. So kind of challenging. But it's overall great, and I'm very honored. And secondly, the second question was
what is it like to see you, to see him write a book? I've learned from some sources that I won't mention that he turned 60 years old the other day, and he's writing this book in his 60th year. So, having seen him more than anyone else probably, just except your mom, for all those years, and now finally he's writing a book that so many people have been waiting for, because as he mentioned, a lot of people have been asking him, why aren't you writing a book? Why aren't you writing a book? So how is it now that he's writing the book? How is it for you? How would you see it?
So first of all, I'm one of those people who are asking him, like, when is he writing a book? He has this whole big library at home, and like, I know you can write. So we're asking him when he's going to write his book. But it's actually a milestone because he gets to do it in his 60th year, which is very amazing, and it's a gift. I see it as a big thing. I can't even find words for it, but yeah, we all glory to God. Yeah.
So far, we've already talked about your team going to Uganda, but our viewers don't know where exactly Uganda is. Very, very big. And what was it like for you on that trip? What do you learn? What challenged you? Give our viewers a feel of what it was like for you to go on that trip.
Okay, so we went to Kabale. It's not very far from the border, actually. It's a few minutes from there, depending on where, of course, in Kabale. So it was a very great experience because I got to hear stories about my father that I didn't know, because I could hear them in generally and say he used to preach. We know him when he was wearing suits and everything. He was always with a Bible and notebook in the armpit, walking around the streets of Kabale and everywhere. So I got to hear it firsthand from people who lived with him, who he actually impacted. And that part where I got to hear those stories, it actually hit me. I was like, I'm actually very privileged that I have him as my father. So it was a very great experience. We got to actually have a small road trip. I love moving around. So that too was a great experience, and I learned a lot. I learned that it doesn't matter how much you have or who you are. All you have to do is try to impact, try to leave a stamp, a mark, and that will do.
What struck you in Kabale? I mean, you being in a place where your father grew up from, meeting his childhood friends, all that. What is it that struck you of all the things that you encountered in that place?
What struck me? So I had the mixed emotions. I was very happy because it was like finding another family. So, or reconnecting with them. So I was very happy, and I got a lot of, actually when we went to see Ivan, the man who, once a boy who was on the streets and now a man, I got to listen to that story, and I was actually trying to hold together. I didn't want to cry. I was trying to hold it in because that story actually, it stood out for me more than the other stories, and it was a beautiful story. Yeah, that is all.
Oh, that's good. I'll come back to you on another very special question. But before I do, and before I go to Bruno,
Yeah.
Because Bruno, being a publisher, might not want to give us some
Information.
So I would love our viewers to first hear the so many great things that happen behind the camera. And we are privileged to be with a man that sees it all and chooses what to leave out and what to give to us. Daniel, how was the trip?
I mean, the trip was short. The trip was short because why I'm saying it was short is because I really had a great time with the team because we were together, all together. And we really had to experience a lot of stuff. And I really enjoyed every single moment that I was doing the documentary.
Was that your first time to be in Kabare?
No, it wasn't the first time, but it's been many years with me not going to visit.
Okay,
Yes.
so let me start from here. What would you say was your biggest highlight of the trip?
Well, the biggest highlight were the people that we met. Actually, I was surprised because I didn't know much about Pastor Norman. All I knew was him at church preaching, a father to all of us, most of the youth which are in Omega right now, because we grew up seeing him teaching, and well, I really knew that he's a man of God, but I got to experience it through other people, what they are saying. Because, well, there's most of the time I couldn't catch exactly what they are saying because they were using Luchiga.
Yeah.
Yes, they were using Luchiga. However, you could actually see in their eyes, you could actually see that when they are speaking, how passionate they are and how grateful they are. So to them, they have met Papa Norman. So it was something that really touched me a lot because I could really now see that it's not just us knowing him that he preached at the podium church, but it's a life that he gave as an example of Pastor Ivan. He shared with us as well the story of how he was once on the street, and then Papa Norman helped him to get closer to God, and now he's a man, he has a family. It's something amazing. So you get to, I got to experience actually how great God have been using the life of Papa Norman. Yes.
Wow, that sounds interesting. Yes. So assuming the publisher is not looking at you, what's that one thing that might not make it a book, but you would want our viewers to listen, to hear, to see, if you could paint it for them? What is one moment or thing that might not make it to your videos or the book,
yes,
but you think our viewers would be interested? Maybe if I may rephrase my question, of all many stories that you captured, what stood out the most for you?
Well, that is a tricky question because all of them were were really good to hear, and they were, every story had its uniqueness. Well, the biggest one was for Pastor Ivan. As I said, it really touched me a lot that there is actually, for me, because I am actually sometimes not talky, if I may say. So I prefer just to act instead of me talking. So I got to see that, hey, you know that even you saying one or two things to a friend, to a colleague who you are seeing is not in the right direction, that one word can change his life entirely. I used to think like, maybe you need to have a lot of Word of God. You need to, you need to have a lot of knowledge for you to be able to help someone to move from one place to another. But I got to see that even the act of love, because I remember one of the things that he said, it was the first time they met, he didn't tell him, hey, here is Jesus and one A, B, C, D. No, he was like, hey, can I give you food? And then the place that you were going, because they were going in town, and then instead of you going in town, let's just stay here and sit. But you see, the first key was let's just share the food. So the love was the introduction. So that love, I believe, is the one that gave him, even him to get time to pay attention and listen to what that man is telling him, because he didn't know him. But that kind of love attracted him. So I believe that with the story of Pastor Ivan, it was really mind-blowing to me.
Wow, can't wait to see the story.
Yes.
Now, let's come back to Bruno. The man behind the work, the man behind the project. I assume that there's a lot of books that publishers are working on at any point in time, and you get to choose, when do I publish this, when do I publish that. And I think since publishing is about storytelling or teaching, wanting to help people to have something that helps them, there is that thing that makes you say, let me start with Teta's content instead of Kabori's content. What is it that you, I was almost going to use the Kinyarwanda word, kuenguka. What is it that you loved most about this book that you chose to work on it instead of, to put it out before many others that you might be having in your factory of books?
Yeah. Thank you. I hope this won't get me in trouble with other writers, but with Norman's book, it's there's too much to love about this book, and I've seen guys trying to give hints, but the few stories they are giving, it's not even 1% of what is in the book. So the book itself is, there's that product you have and you feel like this needs to be out there, but also the fact that we are celebrating his life, his 60 years of living on this earth. And this book talks about staying on the course, staying on what God has called you for. So I felt like this was a priority, but also the involvement of the author. He's involved every day. He has ideas that he's sharing. So the involvement of the author also, because sometimes an author brings an idea, but there is not that motivation that he gives the publishing house. So the involvement of the author, the stories in the book, but also the message behind the book is, I believe it's timely. It's something that, be it the church in Rwanda or the body of Christ everywhere, that needs to hear, that we shouldn't get weary in this time that things are getting hard. It's kind of reminder, this is what God has been doing. He can still do it. And yeah, we feel like this is a message that people need to hear. And as I said to our viewers, there's a lot in this book. Even if we can't publish it tonight, we'll be happy to do it because we feel like we owe you something. So as you use the Kinyarwanda word, I'll use it, mushonje muhishiwe. So yeah, that's part of it.
Wow. So you're an author yourself, and you've gone through the process of writing a book, and you're seeing Dr. Norman do the same. And I wonder, for somebody who probably has a book somewhere that I've been trying to write, and in the same state that you were in before you published yours, that Norman has been in before he published his, the fears, the asking themselves, where do I even start, and all that. What is it that you're seeing that is in common, that you saw, that you had in common between you and Norman, especially during the process of writing the book? What is it? Is it as challenging as people think it is? Is it actually very easier than people think it is? Is it harder than they actually realize it is? For somebody who is who's been considering writing their own book, and now that you have written yours, now that you're helping in the process of working on Dr. Norman's book, what do you have for them?
I would say, like, writing a book or publishing a book is, I wouldn't compare it with childbirth, but when the time is right, there's that urge that you feel like this needs to come out. Many people want to write books, and some have started to put their manuscript together, but when it's time, you feel that urge, and then it becomes naturally, it comes out naturally. because you start doing the process. To those who think it's hard, who feel that urge and think it's hard, I would say it's not that hard when the desire is there. And those who think it's easy, that's why I said it's like childbirth. There will be some pain involved, but it's worth it. Yes.
That's good.
Yeah.
One last question out of curiosity, and then I'll ask you another one that's different. Knowing you as I do, with your passion to help people discover their life's purpose and live it out. You know, in your book, My Forgiveness Story, you kind of touch that about how it helps you to kind of get into your purpose. You always talk about the authority. You talk about those kinds of things that have to do with discovering your life's purpose, but also walking through it. What is in Dr. Norman's book that you find related to that passion of yours?
Everything about his book. If I was a singer, I would steal the song, if it was a song, because let's even start from the team he's here. The visit itself was an encouragement to all of us. Though we went for work, every one of us came back with something to say, oh, because if we are talking about in the 80s, we are meeting friends of Norman back those days who are still friends, who are still in their purpose, who are saying the baby steps they have walked and how God has been with them. They have been in their purpose, they are fulfilled, and they are even started to see the rewards here on the earth. So that was an encouragement of, you can encourage people to do what they have been created to do, to stay on the course. And about authority, in the story, in the book, you see part of his life where he had to leave what you may call his calling, where he had to leave the church and come back to Rwanda to help others to build the nation, because that's what the authority was asking the people in Uganda to come back, even others in exile, to come back and help build the nation. So through the obedience of him to the authority, that's why we are seated here. That's why we see him today here, and what he has done in the nation is a lot. So the story combines everything. I've been learning a lot from his own life, even if I can't say it to him. But also, I would say relationships in the purpose, helping others to become what they are. The man they kept talking about, he's now a man, he's a pastor of a church, he's a businessman, he's respected, he's a father to other kids. His family has come back to him. And I remember we met one of his sisters coming to his shop, yet he was a street boy when Dr. Norman met him. So all this shows you that when someone is doing their purpose, other things fall into places.
Oh, yeah. So the last one, before I go back to Teta and then to Norman, and then I'll have the last round for all of you. For somebody who might be, I'm asking this question for two people. One, somebody who's been having a dream of writing their own book and publish it. Another one, someone who's just curious about the process of writing a book. First of all, what's your publishing house, and how do you help authors? What do you do for them?
Thank you so much. This is a time I get to market what I do. Our publishing house is called Vital Readings, and the people who have been watching this podcast are familiar with it. So we help writers to gather their manuscript. We help in editing. We help in designing layouts and designing other things that comes with the book. We help in selling and marketing of the book. We help in contracts, licenses, because the book, once it's out, it's no longer, it's not for everyone. There's a license that comes behind that. People can use it, people can print it. We even help in production because it may come as a story in a book, but we may want to produce it as a video, as a movie. So we help in that too, and we also help in the development of the author. because once the book is out, there's how the author may want to give out the message, because not many people likes to read, but people may be encouraged to read. So we help in different areas until the book is out, until it's on the market, be it on the online, be it taking it in bookstores. So we help from just writing to the book being all over the world.
As long as someone has a message and is willing to write, you take care of the rest. Because
Yes.
the way it sounds, you know.
Yeah, once you have a story and you believe this story is, it can help people. Of course, as a publishing house, we have some messages that we can't produce, but as long as it's a positive message that it will help people, that you feel like you can't leave this world without leaving that message. And writing Norman's book, it showed me once again how much the old generation has that they're keeping for us in their head. So please, people who are out there, you have how you have walked with God. Even in your own personal journey, you have lessons you have learned. Please put it in a book, because a book never gets old.
Wow, that's a great one. I'm still opening up lots of secrets that Bruno wouldn't want us to put out, but I'm going to open the last one, and then I'll ask you one last question, all of you, and we'll call it show. That I've been told you are working, you've already finished or you are about to, but I'm told, and as far as your father's book is concerned, the chapter that talks about his love story with your mother, you're going to be the one that's working on it. Why, and how does it feel?
First of all, I'm very happy that I get to have part in the book, and a very great part, an interesting
Now
part.
I know how you feel, because you're already...
I'm very happy.
Yes, yes.
So it's just it's small. It's gonna be small, but it shows a very big picture. It shows love. It shows resilience that a young man had, and overall, it's a beautiful story that I'm very excited to be the one to write it. Yeah.
Wow, that's good. So I think I'll ask Dr. Norman last. Let me ask you all this one question. Maybe I may start with Kabori. Daniel, as somebody who's been part of the project in the whole process, and many stories that you've told us and many that you didn't tell us, in a few words, what would you say that readers are supposed to expect from the book? What are they likely to get out of this?
Okay, thank you. Well, there is a lot. There is a lot of knowledge. Actually, I was when I was talking about the story of Ivan, I was taking the eye to Bruno. I'm like, yo, he's gonna shoot me. I'm giving all the, but as he said, it's only 1%, which means the book, the people who are waiting for the book, it's gonna be a journey, as Papa Norman said, it's gonna be a journey of how Christ calls you, and he's the only one who can help you to stay on the course, as the book says. So there is a lot of great advices and great revelations that are in the book. I can't say much because now Bruno is looking at me. But however, it's really going to be a great book, and it's going to change a lot, and it's going to leave a legacy, I believe so. Yes, thank you.
Oh, that's good. Teta,
Yes, please.
apart from the love story, of which we now know that is going to be part of the book, what should readers expect?
So it's really hard now to say something because we have a time bomb. But you can expect a real, if you're a reader and you actually want to stay on the course, you can actually you can expect to read that in the book. Because as he said, there were a lot of things, a lot of baggages around the river, but it meanders. So there is a lot to expect. You can expect how he maneuvered around those bags of whatever were obstacles. You can expect how he continued down the stream. You can expect his vision as the end, not the end, but yeah, as a continuous end, because we don't want the end, of course.
Okay.
So, so yeah, it's really a very amazing book. You can expect life-changing advice and words of wisdom from a person who got it from experience.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just one last one. Going back to the love story, is he the only one that is telling the story? Do you also feature your mother telling the story?
Yeah.
How about your brother and your sisters? I mean, is it just in his perspective, or you're capturing different perspectives in the story?
It can't be his only perspective. We have both perspectives, moms and dads, which is funnier on mom's side, because he probably got shy from saying some of the parts, but I don't know, maybe he forgot.
Okay.
But yeah, it's both perspectives and, God willing, some other few ideas.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, to the publisher, what should readers expect? What should we, I mean, now that you have announced the upcoming book, now that you have announced the main themes of the book, and of course, some of the themes have already been spoken about by other authors. Is there something that is unique? Is there something that we should expect from the book that might be different from what we already have in the literature available?
Yeah, I think to our viewers and the people been reading our books is the uniqueness of telling stories with a purpose. Many people have read our previous book, said it wasn't boring. So we would promise 100% that it won't be boring. That was a book of a 30-year-old man. Now it's a book of a 60-year book. So the stories are many, and the principles to learn from them are also too many. So you won't get bored. It may be bigger than the previous one, but we promise people that the uniqueness in telling stories that they experienced, and this time it will be in 3D. You'll be reading the book in a 3D format. So I encourage everyone to start. We will put a pre-sale beforehand. So once the book is out, please grab your copy, and you won't be disappointed. I'm tempted to say that if you're disappointed, bring it back, we'll give you your money, but I'm sure you won't be disappointed. Since I know that this is my last question, I want to thank Norman for trusting us to give us this amazing work. Thank you, and on the behalf of the team here, thank you also for taking us to Uganda. We learned a lot. I think that will stick in our mind more than all the preachings we ever done at church. So thank you so much for trusting us, and thank you for giving us that opportunity.
By the way, others got to tell us what stuck with them throughout the whole trip, but we didn't hear your version. What is it that you got from the whole trip that you just thanked Norman for?
Me was the relationships, you know, seeing a friend of the 80s. When they met, it was as if they saw each other last month. So because they're all still doing the work of God, they are connected in the spirit. So it's not like someone you have not seen for many years. And how they told stories, it's like men on war. You know, we went on this line up, and then after that this happened. They were excited to say what God has been using them, and watching them were like, oh man, this is an 8-year-old man. There's a man we visited, and they was like, no man, let's keep serving God. And that zeal and that fire in an old man, it was amazing, man. Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome. Can't wait to get to read the book. So Dr. Norman, I will now leave the team out for a few minutes. First, the same question I had asked all of them. What should readers expect? What should people who have heard of you, who have seen you, who have worked with you, what should they expect from this book? And also, is it going to be available in Uganda? Are you going to be able to give access to other people out of Rwanda? I mean, those in Uganda, those in US, Europe, Canada, everywhere else. Are they going to be able to have an access to the book?
Thank you, Victor. I think people don't know the other piece of a person. And I think people need to know the other side. When you have a coin, people might see you on one side, but people need to flip on the other side. So this book will also sleep on the other side to see who is this Norman that you have been seeing after genocide, 94, and he has been here. And people, as Dan was saying, people don't know the flip, the other side. And when people don't see where you're coming from, they can't even value what you are today. And unfortunately, when people pass by, and when people speak on the other side, they say, oh, we didn't know about this. So I believe it's going to help other people also to speak the wholeness of man. And this book, I believe, we are made up by different pieces of life. Relationship, as he said, people that played a big part in one's life will be also highlighted, and see the power how every individual has a building block in one's life. So this book will also be, of course, shared with people outside Rwanda to know, yes, your life goes beyond your boundaries. People don't realize that you are not just a Rwandese. When we cross to Uganda, it's like saying my life was also shared on the other side. And in fact, my life might have affected people outside Rwanda, and it helps us to understand that yes, you can be locally based in Rwanda, but also your impact can also be felt regionally, continentally, and globally. So it's something that people need to understand that.
Wow,
yeah.
That's good. When Bruno mentioned relationships, and you just mentioned them too, it reminded me of somebody who's been telling you that once you write a book, you write about networking. She's known you for a long time to be very good at networking. Yeah. Are you going to give us some portion of networking in the book?
Yes, very. Because God has not. Someone said, "I'm not an island." So people who think they know everything, it's a lie. You bring people, you need to develop that kind of network. And within the book, we will see the principles, how your vision can be so much like a net, like a web net, like, is it a web net? Yeah,
yes,
a web net. How everything goes into interconnecting. So you never be unless you develop a network of people with different skills. And that's why we have you young people who are here. I can never be until I involve people who make me what God had designed me to be.
Oh, that's good. Before I forget the other question I'd asked you, and about the other one that I'm going to ask you, I'd asked you, is the book going to be accessible beyond Rwanda?
Yes.
Okay, so
Amazon will be there. Maybe other platforms, who knows? Because of networking, maybe other vital reading will be as we develop networks, you might find yourself in China and translate all these material, these books into other languages. Yeah.
By the way, that's another one I was about to ask. Was of all, you are a man of great networks. You are a man of a lot of resources. In terms of all kinds of resources. I'm not going to be specific. And you could have chosen to do your book within a publisher. In Rwanda, in Uganda, in Kenya, outside of Africa. Why choose these young men of all those other options? And why is it that on your entire team, it's only young people? There isn't someone,
I believe in young people. I believe in young people. I believe I was once young and now I am old. And I've not seen the righteous being forsaken. So I see potential in young people. And I'm a kind of leader who would not overlook and devalue and demean. I see great potential in young people. So if you want to think right, surround yourself with the young people. So the reason why we're here is that I value what is in you. And there's a challenge of generational gaps. People need to lift other people. The reason why I do that is it's because somebody lifted me up. So you never stay there. You are here because somebody lifted you up. So I see young people. How can you lift young people? It's when you lift them up. So to me, it's a great joy.
So you've been empowered and now you're empowering
I've empowered.
others.
In fact, those are the principles that we need, we'll share in the book. How you are not an island. God has called us to empower others.
Wow.
And your legacy is always in empowering others. What will people say that you did into my life? And that's why the stories in where we went to, I learned that what will people talk about when you are not there? So when we went there, you begin to hear stories. So to me, that is fulfillment.
Wow.
Wow.
By the way, you didn't tell us what stood out for you on the trip. What was, everybody shared, what was yours?
Well, my joy is, one of my greatest joy is having you to hear stories. I'm a kind of person who does not want to blow my own trumpet. People need to hear stories. For example, you tell more stories more than me. And I think my daughter can testify on that. I can preach on there and I open my mouth and all, but when it comes to that, at least stories can already be narrated best by other people. So to me, that was fulfilled. To see my daughter hearing and all of you hearing stories, it's great joy. Yeah.
Wow, that's good. Last one. I asked how it is for her to work with you. And she shared a lot of messages, both verbally and especially the non-verbal message was even greater. So for you, what is it like for you to work with her on this very big project?
Very good. Why? Because leaders don't want to be real. When they are home, they become lions and they become whatever. But when you're at home, you're a dad, you're a father, you're a husband, so they know who you are. And so those are the best people. The way she was born, she has a story to tell. Our struggles, our pains, our joys. So she can also tell a story. Yes, there's a character that my father, my mother has. So very important even to hear stories about them. For example, now they are believers. They say, was this Christianity fake? So they are the people who say, daddy's faith, mom's faith is real. So they are the people that can tell the real story from the pulpit and at home. You jump and down, like father, like daughter, like son. That kind of joy, it's what brings families together. It's not a public ministry that impact your family. It's who you are in the family. It's when you are open and vulnerability. I ask forgiveness, and they say, Dad, you have not asked that forgiveness. Please forgive me. Those are the kind of stories. Vulnerability, and to understand that I'm not an angel. I'm just a human being, a father who is trying to be a good father, a husband that wants to be the best. And you tell them, I'm not 100% angel. I'm a father, I'm a husband. So those are the kind of things people need to hear. And outside the world, they see leaders as great ones. My friend, when you are home, tell your children that I'm a father, you know. So that's the real.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I had the idea of her covering the part of the love story. Didn't come from you. It came from her and some other publishing team members. And I wonder, what made you accept the proposal? Do you find it interesting?
I'm very interested.
How do you feel about
I feel they know me more.
The love story particularly.
The love story, and they know it. They know it. You know how to joke around and all that, and you know, it was the kind of things that bind families together. You know, it's not the restaurants that bind people together, families. It's who they are, and their joys and their pains, and I mean, those are the things that bind people together. Yeah.
Wow.
And I think the other day my daughter Grace wrote me a letter, a lovely letter. I mean, when you read that, you begin to see yourself in those lenses. When you hear somebody, I mean, those are the kind of stories that are very important to a father. Yeah.
Wow. So, you know, I've had many talk shows with you. Yeah. And every time we're in a show, I sit across you. I am looking at people's faces when they are speaking. I've never seen you this joyful. I hope, since this is going to be uploaded on YouTube, whoever, any among you, if you want to go and watch it, and you will see the light that was Dr. Norman's face. I believe that this book indeed
it's one of
is
my
coming
greatest
as
joy.
great light. So let me thank you so much for joining tonight. I'm also part of the team. It's just that tonight, as a host, it's not my place to share all those things. Maybe some other setting I will, but I know it's been a great privilege to be part of this whole team. And I just want to thank you. I want to thank you for accepting to doing this. Our viewers might not know, but it was actually on a last-minute thing. And you guys accepted to come on the show, and you've accepted to contribute to this work. It's not going to die, as Bruno said, because a book goes nowhere. So thank you so very much. Thank you, Teta, for coming.
Thank you so much.
It's always a joy for us to have you here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Bruno, for coming.
Thank you so
And for accepting to be used by God to bring out these books that you are bringing out. God bless you so much. Thank you, Kabori. Daniel,
Thank you.
for joining us tonight.
Yes.
This is amazing. It's a joy for me to always see you on the camera, not just behind the camera. I know you do great things behind the camera, but it's also a joy to see you on the camera.
Thank you.
Dr. Norman,
Thank you too.
thank you so much for trusting young people.
Yeah. More things ahead.
And thank you for the book that is coming up. Our prayers are with you. Our prayers are with the team. Our prayers are with everything that is being done behind the camera to make sure that this book comes out great. And to our viewers, maybe we never get to thank you enough, but the truth is we only do this because you watch us. We do this because we believe it is impactful to you, and it's a joy for us to always do this. And again, CNN Podcast, you can always watch us live on TV10 every Sunday from 3:30 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. But you can also, if you, for different reasons, you missed out on the live show, you can always watch the video on CNN Podcast YouTube channel. You just write in CNN Podcast, but you can also write in Vital Readings Publishers, and you're going to be able to find the video. So I hope that you share this and let everybody know that we're working on this. And if you're watching us and you happen to know us, to know Dr. Norman and his ministry, we ask you for prayers. We truly need a lot of prayers for this project to come out great. and to make an impact to people. And you can always reach out to us through any channels, our social media, our emails, our numbers. Maybe let Norman say that part, and he will close for us with a prayer.
On email?
How do we reach you?
Well, use your number. 0788422951, and you can reach us on email cftn.ministries@gmail.com.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
Let me first check my time if we still, okay, so we don't have a minute, but thank God for tonight, and thank you for sharing. I hope that people will continue to reach out and support us in every possible way, especially in prayer. May God bless you. Have a good evening.